Okay, we bottom of page Kuf Mem Tes. We finished discussing the all the various aspects of it. What three dugmas from Sikas Tapuach, from Rav Talmud, from Seichel Midus. Now he's going to go back to the name. Dugma Kazois, 3 lines on the bottom of page Kuf Mem Tes. But Dugma Kazois, or Mailam Be'elam Sabiyah, Ma'abril Yitzir Mitzir Vasir Zepnesil Vol. There's a difference. It says in elements biyad the way the yitzir is created from bria, and asir from yitzir, it's also in a way of ilavol. The in the yadua the bria she'ein of mitzias adayin like shoyos mitzias avoy mitzias. So it says in Chassidus based on the Ramban, beginning of Chumash. The concept of bria means not real creation of a real being. It's only if show is a limit sees. Bria means like the Amman calls it chaymer aposh, something which is very abstract. That's the element of bria. That's if show is something. It's the possibility of being. Ubi yitzira is galus amitzis. Hashem bria is galus in yitzira, which is the Lashon tzur, that there is shape and form. So that is already a state of its galus amitzis. So on one hand, Bria is kama ayin lagabe yitzir. Just said earlier, when the ilol, the biyachas of the olol, the ilo is like kama ayin. But on the other hand, gam bria pnes mitzias. Relative to yitzir, it's very abstract, but it's also pnes mitzias. Shari eini afitzas mitzias. Bria, it's not lack. Afitzas means lack of being. The bria is chachas mitzias. Like shein mitzias, mamish give shows mitzias. So the definition of bria is of shows mitzias. It's already a stage that mitzias there's a possibility of mitzias to be. V'lachein ze shemach the bria nasa kesav atik leitzir u'praktis ilavol. So that's the point of that we say the yachas of bria to yitzir is ilavol, because what are mitzias? Just like we said earlier in the Mashal from Mishalim for ilavol, the three Mishalim. Sikas HaTapuach, Sikas HaMazel, the Midas Shebeseichel, and the way the Seichel Talmud is within Seichel Arav, it's a Metzias already. The Mele, the connection, the way Bria creates Yitzir is Ilavol. Kumoisa brings in another mashal that we didn't have till now, Machshava V'Divo. Machshava P'nes Yitzchachas, Mashenk Divo P'nes Yitzchachas Levat. When the person thinks, the thinking is something new that before he thought that this entire concept didn't exist. Mashenken Divo, so Mela the in of Machshava is something new that didn't exist before. But the Yachas the Divo, the Machshava is Mitzgas Levad. In Divo you megale express what you already there wasn't Machshava. Shem Sheba Elam Abriya Gufa. Then he said, in Elam Abriya Gufa, within Elam Abriya Gufa, there's also Madregis. There's spheres, there's Malachim, there's Nishamas. It says, Elam Abriya Gufa, first Malchus the Bria, Nisav, Nishamas Malachim, the Bria is the Chidach Yilval. Similarly, it says, not from Bria to Yitzir, within Elam Abriya Gufa, the Madregis in Bria Gufa, one is created from the other in a way of Yilval. Masha Kosu, okay, so the Hagel is a horror. Masha Kosu, there's a Kedesh, Nisav, Ma'ayin Liyesh. I'm sorry, no, Mr. Line here. The Miyichud Zun, the Bria, Nisav, Nivoim, the Bria, Koich Eyan, Neshama Shalem. Says that's a Lashon Kabbalah, that either the Neshama is Nisavu, or the Nivoim, the Bria, which is Tzor Shmalachim, are they created? The Miyichud Zun, the Bria. There's Zov and Nukva, the spheres of Zov, which is Chesed, please say, and Nukva, which is Malchus, unite, and they put from that unity that creates the Nivoim. So that's B'koyach Eyan Neshama Shabayim. It's B'koyach the Eyan Neshama. It's in Zun. Arei L'Gabe Kelim the Zun the Bria and P'ches Ilavol. So the Yachas of the Kelim from Zun the Bria and the Neshamas Nivoim, it's Ilavol. Masha goes the Gersa Kodesh Nisar Ma'ayin Liyesh. Gersa Kodesh, the Lashon, the Gersa Kodesh Simen Chov, the Lashon is Nisar Ma'ayin Liyesh. צריך לא לומר שזה לגבי אור הנשמה, צריך here. It's one of these things that's a deep cliche. In other words, in spheres of Bria Gufa, there's Eretz and Canaan. So he says, Biachas to the Canaan, so Biachas to the Eretz, the Yesh Ma'ayin. But if he says what Tzarechiyun means, how do you exactly explain and reconcile it? You're not going to get into it. K'moy Kain, so just like it started a long sentence. Geshem Shabbat Bria Gufa. Just within Elam Bria. The yachas of the spheres to the nivoim is ilavol k'moy kain mashamachas the brin as kesel yitzir v'nes ilavol. Actually, the yachas obviously the yachas of yitzir to bria is more further away than the yachas of the nivoim bria gufa, but both of them are ilavol. Kain machas the yitzir shenas kesel asiya akav v'nes ilavol. So going back to the concept he's discussing here, the olam is all the stashes within the olam is biyah from one olam to the other, within the olam gufa from the spheres to the voim. All the modes are in a state of ilavol. There's no real yesh ma'ayin. But matzils the bria mashenke matzils the level that matzils the bria. It's not ilavol. Atzilus is pure ayin, pure likus. There's no yeshes klal. Like the Zayah says, the him and the earth and the kalim, the seichel, midas are all one. The meile al kain matzilus tabri ain't even that p'nes klal, p'nes erech klal. So the yachas of Atzilus Tabri is not the same error. It's not ilavol. The level of Chachma in Atzilus, it's not a known type of Chachma. P'nes Chachma d'Atzilus ain't P'nes Chachma d'Atzilus klal. P'nes Chachma d'Bri ain't P'nes Dimi Dom klal. P'nes Chachma d'Atzilus. So b'meila the yachas of Chachma d'Bri Chachma d'Atzilus is not like ilavol because ain't a Dimi v'Dogma klal. It doesn't have any similarity and any sampling. And the marshal to that is there's the inanimate object and there's the seichel. Changes are most close. It's not the chal, it's a different type of being. It's a different essence. So we explained one point. The chachma that b'riyah, chachma that tzilus is yesh ma'ayin. V'chein hu b'chol elam atzilus. All the madregas of Elam Atzilus, the relative to Elam Abriya, it's Ayin. Liya Shagam Knes Malchus, every called Dani Atzilus, even the level of Malchus, the lowest madrega of Gam Knes Ayin Mamish biyachas to Briya. Masha Malchus Nika Yesh Gam Madrega Shlam Malach Mishkas Makamacher. I find sometimes the yachas to the madregas of Bovet, Malchus is considered Yesh. Relative to the other spheres, so yeah, biachas the spheres above it, yes. I will lay shub chinas yes. Interesting way of putting it. Yeah, yes, I will lay shub chinas yes. The gamma, it's not real. It's not the real type of yesh that is in Elam's biyah. Gamma kalim the malchus ain't the kusmamish. Pesafis some tis v'eder. Okay, he just makes a statement here without explaining more what he's saying. That on the one hand, malchus is considered yesh, but I guess relative to the spheres above it, it has a certain definition of yesh because the whole point of malchus is in B'layam. It allows the metzias of nivoy, but still he says the thing itself, malchus itself, ain't a p'nesiyash, but it's a piece of the gamma. Fies ist am Metzias verhebrig. Aber am Schach, wenn es malchus hat sich der Brille, es ist aber es abrier, ein sich nimmt sich meus haor, אין שנמשך מוסר, שכוס ויעזר, פילחוס מנעזר פסח אל שרישן, שהביר רק מהווס אני, ולא ישני ונסח נסני, לא ישבר נסח נסני, וכמו יובל כנ"ל. So he brings from Zaya, the Azav Mital Rebbe, the different Ilavol, it brings a lush. The Ilavol in Yesh Ma'ayin is, Ilavol means Sha'ol Ilam Nasta Olo, like we said in the Mishonim before. The Mesikas of the Mazel, that becomes the Mesikas of Tapur, Ramshachas HaMahus. And the Seichel Arab becomes Seichel Talmud, and the Regesh Shabbat becomes the Regesh Shabbat. So in that way, Ilavol, the Ilo, the Mashpia, becomes part of it becomes the Makabel. Mashenken in Bria, Yesh Ma'ayin, ain't that's the Lashon important. Ain't the Beire Nasa Niva. It's not that the Beire turns into Niva. It's something the opposite is Mahaves Niva. Like I said, it's two ways. So the truth is, if I think in the simple language, cause and effect, it's like a sort of an outside trigger. It's like a cause and effect in the common sense that one thing causes the other, but they're not really connected. Something new is created. So then he brings a dogma to that type. So again, the dogma feel of all, we had a lot of dogmas. We had 3 dogmas of Tapuach and Seichel Arab and Seichel Midas. And in this type of this page, but in another marshal, Machshav and Dibur. What is the marshal and Yesh Ma'ayin that we can relate to? And again, it's harder for us to relate to Yesh Ma'ayin because Ilavol is something we experience daily. Everything we do is Yesh Miyesh. But Yesh Ma'ayin is something we never experience because everything in our life is part of a system of Ishtalshalos. So where do we have a marshal on Yesh Ma'ayin? So that marshal is an abstract marshal. The name says the name of a person, the yachas of the name of the person himself, it can be used as a marshal to Yin of Yesh Ma'ayin. Why? The name has no effect at all on the person himself. That's called by the name. The letters of the name have the highest, like you know, that like it says in Tanya also. Then everybody's name has its chayes. However, in the chayes gam k'may chayes hamatumtum shebesayis, sheyesh behem al kaponim k'tzas chayes mamorech b'chim shmay chayes ma'arish ke'ev. Brings the Haggav. The Haggav means a different marshal which you didn't bring yet in this Maimon. There's a marshal, the famous, we learned a few other Maimon. Famous marshal as Cyrus, that here, the highest Shabbat Cyrus is very far removed. So that's why when you cut here, you don't feel it. So that also, sometimes that is a marshal of a very big jump or leap between one madrig and the other. But still, he says the Chayish of there is something there. It's like when you cut the hair, don't feel pain, but when you pull the hair, you do feel pain. It means that Sire is still connected to its source a little bit. So we see, he says that the name of the person is not negay at all. A person can live his entire life by himself and never need a name. The name doesn't have any effect on him. So the one aspect of the name is that the name does not affect it. And the other hand, to the name, he does, when he calls someone by his name, he turns to the person who calls him, which means so the Hashem, so that is interestingly enough. So he said earlier, Shem is chayos. That's what you learned, that the name of the person is the chayos. But here he uses a different proof that the name is the chayos. The fact that if we call a person by his name, he turns, that means that the name does touch him in his essence. Now, was That's a so like Mashlan Yesh Me'ayin.
What does it mean? A name is a name. Okay, this never clear, but highest, what kind of a highest?
Okay, so I'm saying the in of Chayes Hilon, then below Chassidus, in other places, that the neshama is nimshach to the person, to the ICS of the name. So it uses the fact that when you call someone by his name, it turns that he says the deeper reason for that is because the ICS Hashem do touch the essence. But the way it touches this, he says, Yesh boy, aval ein zeklal musar. Oh, it's an extreme leap. The highest is there, but it's very removed. Components means another marshal is a kamoy base, a marshal base yadakli, like the handle of a cup. The cup can take in the water even without a handle. You can have a cup without a handle. Was a tail But on the other hand, we need a handle, so you should be able, the way he explains it here, you need a handle so you can pick up the cup and drink from it. So the handle does have a function, but it's not negate to the essence of the kli. The kli is a fully functioning kli without the handle also. So let's think about it. He describes the function of a handle of a cup. Kli means a vessel that can handle, that can contain what you put in it. That's a keli. So the cup can have can take in the water, the tea, the coffee inside without the handle. The handle is not negay. The handle is negay for side effect. In order for you to be able to use it, it's easy for you to use it with the handle. But in other words, the ultimate function of the kli is perfectly fine without the handle. The handle adds usage to the kli like teyeles for another effect. So that is similar to in shame. On one hand, that the shame is like a handle. It's a way. It's a means to use since you want to call the person, you need a name, but that it's not negated to the person himself.
After was a kli, the whole purpose of the kli is not to be a kli Kabbalah, the order that we should get it.
Okay, what you're saying is true. It's true, but the meaning of the word kli means something that handles something. That can take in kli Kabbalah. Kli is Kabbalah. The ashpoy of the kli, that's something additional. Yeah, you're right that we can be argued that the ultimate purpose of the kli is you should be able to use. Okay, but over here it's concentrating on that aspect because we want to use it as a marshal. So from the perspective of the fact that it's a clear Kabbalah, the handle is something. It's a side theme. Teyeles, he calls it teyeles. Yasa teyeles in acha. It's an additional function. It's not an additional function the kli has. It's not the essence of the kli. Okay. So we're using usually, that's a little bit vershtikl chiddush here because usually don't bring such much. It does no. We learned on a lot of memorim of Ilavol and Yesh Ma'ayin. We learned there was all them sheikhim about it in Samachay, the Rosh and Shavuos Samachay, and we also Nine Aleph. There's a lot of things about using the Ilavol and Yesh Ma'ayin. Here in this mind introduces a new way to relate to the inyan of Yesh Ma'ayin. Yesh Ma'ayin means that the koyach of the ayin within the yesh is very it's there, but it's something which doesn't have the essence within it. There's a marshal. It's a marshal of the Beis Yad, much like a handle. So that's that after bring this marshal from we have two marshal from a name, the marshal from a handle of a cup. Kamoikin who even Amshacha, so similar when we talk about Amshacha from Atzilus the Biyah, which means Biyesh Me'ayin, Ein Nimshach Musa'or, K'ma Nimshach Liva Chutz La'etzem, She'ein Ze Musa'or. It's something, it's a side, sort of, it's similar to a name, it's similar to a handle of a cup. He said cup, the handle of any kli, that it's it's not the essence. It's something very external. Okay, so we finished discussing this concept of not mamish finished. So finish discussing one aspect of this concept of yesh ma'ayin, the chiluk yesh ma'ayin ilavol. That yesh ma'ayin, the ayin is not ma'us ayin einenim shabayesh, unlike ilavol. So that is the yachas of Atzilus to Bria. Similar to the way we described the inner of Yesh Ma'ayin, where Bria is created from Atzilus, Bria from Atzilus. Kamoi Kain Hu Gam and Tzafam Atzilus. So the yachas of Atzilus above Atzilus to Atzilus is also similar. Shabbos feel that Atzilus Gufa. So now it goes into a more subtle way that really within Atzilus. We just spoke the Yachas Atzilus to be is the Yesh Ma'ayin. What happens within Atzilus Gufa, the spheres in Atzilus? Atzilus Gufa can start with all. Within Atzilus Gufa, the Yachas of one sphere to the other is not Yesh Ma'ayin. It's all. Which of course, by Gas Hakedesh Hanal, the Lush and the Gas Hakedesh Simen Chof is start last spheres of spheres Atzilus Nesakene. That there is a concept within Atzilus Gufa, the Yachas of one sphere to the other, one kli to the other is Yesh is Ilo. It's called Ilovol because it's not Shalei. Aber mir Meil Atzilus, Mashenken, the Yachas of the above Atzilus. The Atzilus is also Yesh Ma'ayin. Mishakosu v'achachma Ma'ayin Timotze. Says Achachma Ma'ayin Timotze. So you get it's one of these interesting Pirushim Chassidus, and even before Chassidus given Pasach Achachma Ma'ayin Timotze. Achachma Ma'ayin Timotze. Ma'ayin means verwandt. Nine. Where does it come from? That's a simple meaning. But obviously gives a deeper meaning. Number one, before talking about ma'ayin, first this is what timotz. The way we say, the way Chochma is created as timotz, is being found. What is found? It's metzia. What's metzia? Metzia she'eina yedeh ma'ayin bola. Metzia, when you find something, means the concept of finding signifies the idea that you don't know its source. You don't know where it came from. You found something. You don't know who adopted it. You don't know. That's the meaning of mitzvah. So chochma b'achas to its source. It's like a mitzvah. It's something that's found with we don't know the owner is. There's no source. Then he said a deeper deal can learn. Like I said before, the word ma'ayin. The first dig is about timotz. The dig is what ma'ayin is. Pirush ma'ayin timotz because ayin the kesser shebekesser. When you say the chachma comes from ma'ayin, it means ayin of kesser shebekesser. Why? The kesser is chachma shebekesser and makam shebekesser. There's a level in kesser which is called chachma shebekesser that cannot be called ayin. That is taka makam chachma. The chachma shebekesser, which is chachma stima, is the makam chachma agluya. But it's still a mocker. But it's a gam shalocha b'chinas chachma gluim b'chinas chachma stimok which is a mocker chachma. Ashenken keser shebekeser, that's ayin. So but the Hagav, since he got into this discussion of mocker the chachma stimok chachma gluim, so brings a mosh. The mocker hamaskil. We learned this a few places. There's something called koyach hamaskil. That's the person's ability to innovate, to say. It's called koyach hamaskil shebenefesh. A second. Agam shel mushal agam hamiseich nekom koyach hamaskil. So the koyach hamaskil, the potential, the ability to analyze, to innovate, with the seichel, the intellect, that ability itself is mushlim seichel. It's above any concept of seichel. At the same time, it's a source for seichel, so it has some intellectual aspect. We don't feel what is the essence of that koyach hamaskel, mugash metzius. It do exist, know that it exists. We do feel there's a source of the seichel.
What does it mean is mushal misseifel? The koyach hamaskel.
Mushal from any real koyach is above any real analysis, real intellectual action. It's only the koyach, it's only the ability. That's how we can see a person has a very good head, but if he never uses it, it's mushal. It is no, it's never used, so it's not, doesn't have any effect. I mean that's the meaning of the word.
But it's a soul.
What?
It is the soul.
I can't hear what?
The koyach hamaskel is the source.
Yeah, that's what it says. The source, but it's not. It is the source. They just said at the same time, that itself is not seichel. It's not the koyach hamaskel itself is not seichel. Just the potential. It's just the ability to have seichel. But so he says, it's interesting. He says, but I mean, it's one of these concepts. It's like it's hard to find a marshal for that. It's something that has the potential for seichel, but that itself doesn't have any real seichel. And at the same time, he says, can be a marshal for that. I don't know. I can't think of a good marshal for that. But as is the Iman. We feel like I said it's not such a good marshal, but I said the marshal, we say that some person is very talented. Let's say he has a very, like you say, we see that when he uses the seichel, when he uses his mind, he's very talented. But when he doesn't use it, there's nothing there. There's no seichel. There's no, can't point to some intellectual experience. Just know that he has the potential. So the Mele says the when the person uses his good head, so to speak, not just a good head, anybody uses his mind to apply it to an actual situation of seichel. So there's a mahus, there's a real ha'ora, there's a real shine from the koyach hamaskel into the seichel. V'chein even amtzah seichel v'chachma b'oifem kazeh shebchnes hamshachas oir. Eine she'ein b'pisa meila shebchnes hamshachas neshenim shem mahus ha'ora. What is he saying here? It's not. He says eine b'pisa. Maybe that's a little key to understand a little better what he's talking about. That that sometimes a person just all of a sudden, out of the blue, comes up with something. So that's not amshach koyach hamaskel. The fact that a piece, something that's a result of a process, your person works hard. Maybe that's a sign that you have to draw something from the koyach hamaskel in the same.
Even though we use the expression of timatze,
Exactly. Yeah. So this is what he's doing here. He's see just that he said earlier. Timot is biachas the keser shebekesa, not biachas the chochma shebekesa. Biachas the chochma shebekesa. It's like a mocker. It's like similar to Ilavol. That's what he's saying here. Exactly what you just asked. So the tools makayos is the makayos the way it's chachmas timo, which is in the nefesh it's kerech hamaslo. There's the eye level of makayos, which is the rotzim. The fact that you're interested in applying your mind. Umakayos chachma the rotzim is kaken ein of chachma. The rotzim of lischakem, the interest, the will to Yischakim, that's not called mocker. That's yesh me'ayin. You want it, but it does in the world of Rotzen, the Chachma doesn't exist at all. It's yesh me'ayin. Chachma ayin tomatik apnes kesher kan Hashem le'yesh Chachma. But Masha Rotzen apnes mocker, Masha roitz Yischakim mocker leChachma. The roitz Yischakim ayin apnes Chachma. Ayin me'kosh b'razeh. Tomek apnes Rotzen the kesher el ayin apnes mocker apnes apnes ayin mamish. Okay, so we brought here a description of the concept that Atzilus, Chochmet Atzilus, v'achas keser shebekeser is yesh me'ayin. Now he said
these meshorim are complicated.
I agree.
The secher, and I'm sorry, we are running through it. I'm sorry to say that, so we need to take time and understand deeper. It is. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to. I just it's stuck. I agree with you. It's complicated, but I just if you come up, I'll be happy if you tell me. I'm trying to figure out how we can explain it. I can understand it. In the meantime, I just want to understand the frame, what he's saying, the words. But to understand the concept is quite hard. You know what? There's a mimer of the Rebbe that elaborates this mimer, but I don't see that he elaborates on this. The mimer top. This is a chaydesh. A mimer chaydesh Tavshin Tesvav. The Rebbe talks about a lot of concepts in this mimer, but I don't see like getting in developing this particular. Let's see here. What does it say here? Look at the Mamish is almost repeating what it says here in this Maimer. I don't see an explanation. Maybe I'll put it up now, and maybe once somebody wants to learn it, then maybe we'll find some better way of understanding it. 1 second. What should I do? I mean, I don't have a better way of. To be honest, this is like one of the. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay.
So what I suggest, if we go if we try to, try to maybe just try to understand the I know the concept we know more or less. It's the yesh ma'ayin and Eilav Aru. That's basically the concept of the whole general concept of the Maimon. I'm saying that I think it's more than that. He's trying to tell us something which we don't, which is not familiar, as you mentioned. So and the koach hamaskil and especially the fact that he has a sichli and these concepts needs a concentration to see what we can learn a little something newer that wasn't there. So maybe if we just concentrate on them, it might tell us a little bit more.
Maybe, I don't know. Okay, I mean, what did it say? Yeah, I just, one second, I just put up. So let's see what this is. I'm really sorry, but I don't have understanding myself, but how it relates to real life. You understand the concept, like you said, you understand the concept, you understand what he says, that the yachas of Chochmah to Koach HaMaskil is ill of all, Mashenka the Rotzen Yesh Me'ayin, that we can relate to somehow, but maybe in Biur HaZeir that you just brought here, that maybe that will help us a little bit. Yeah, looking at Biur HaZeir.
Yeah, there's from the Alter Rebbe.
It's a mamar of the Alter Rebbe, the Mittel Rebbe, noch zum Mittel Rebbe, but then it says Ba'agol, L'Sham Agol, that means Agol is Tzemach Tzedek. So it's both. It's there's the Mittel Rebbe, but that's the funny thing is this part is something that should easier to relate to. The last line, the Roitzel Yitzchak Ein Epnes Chochmah. That's something we can understand. That the interest to Seichel, that's not Seichel. The part of it's hard to understand, to articulate and understand is what is Koach HaMaskil. As he said, he described it as something paradoxical. He said something mamish paradoxical. Mushlo legama miseichel mekom k'pnes sichel. I don't know what it means. It's a very paradoxical description. That it's mushlo and it's sichli.
It's obviously.
What?
It's obviously, if you will take something that has nothing to do with seichel, nothing at all,
yeah,
there is not even a rotzen for that. The fact that there is a rotzen, that means that it's not seichel, but there is something, a hamshocha to that.
No, you're talking already about Rotzen. No, in Rotzen it says it's stuck in the seichel. You're talking about Dreiger below Rotzen. You're talking about Dreiger of Koach HaMaskil. Mushla legama miseichel mekom k'pnes sichel.
That's also obviously, because otherwise the result would not be seichel.
Explain the two opposites. When you say it's obvious, what are the two opposites? How can you understand the two opposites here? What? That eine Pchinas seichel and mushlo, and at the same time it's also sichli. How can you do both at the same time? What is it? Can't hear what? אני לא שומע, I don't hear.
Oh.
Like something's wrong with the connection.
It's not seichel. It's you don't. Is it okay now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I hear you. Yeah.
In the level of Maskil, it's not seichel
Yeah.
in the way that seichel is functioning. But of course, that this is the direction, the source of seichel. Later, it comes out because of Maskil, it comes out in the way of seichel. But in Maskil itself, you don't function like a seichel is functioning. Should have a connection
What
between
is
Koyach HaMaskil and Seichel, even though that piece itself is
what's
not
meant
Seichel.
Koyach HaMaskil? What is it? It's just the Koyach.
Koyach HaMaskil is the essence. What is Seichel? Seichel is something that is melubish in a way that you could contain the idea. But in Seichel, it was already in Protim. I don't know, maybe like Chochma Bina, I think, that the Bina is going all the details. Seichel is dissecting everything.
No, okay. So you wanna connect it to.
I think that Koyach HaMaskil is higher than Chochma Bina.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, Chachma Bina, it's also hard to understand. Chachma Bina, we can relate somehow because Chachma is the Nekudas Haskol and Bina is the party. Okay, that part, yeah, that I understand.
Koyach HaMaskil is higher than that. It's not. There is no Chochma. There is something already. But in Koyach HaMaskil, there is nothing. There is, of course, this is the shayrish. There is everything there. But the way of thinking is not in the way of Seichel. Seichel is already much lower.
So what is there? If there's no Seichel, what is there? What he says, Adainu Sichli, Mikol Makom Ubchina Sichli.
In the way that later Seichel comes out. This itself is not functioning like Seichel. It's about but this is the source for Seichel. Seichel is
Okay, fine. Look, it's I agree that this is a little bit of a way to understand it.
Also, if you go lower, then I mean the next few lines about the Ratzon, so Moshe Rotzel Etchakim Umokol Lechachmo. What's that mean?
What?
Rotzel Etchakim. It's
It's
saying
simple.
that
If you don't want,
Umokol Lechachmo. What's that mean?
obviously, the only way you'll do chachma if you want to do it. So rotzen means the interest, the rotzen to do it, right? So the rotzen, that's fine. That we can understand how it is not seichel. It's just a person's interest in something doesn't mean that he's there. He's just interested in it. But Koyach HaMaskil it's a male rotzen ain't a sichli class. It's not seichel. It's a rotzen. It's just that he wants to do something. But what he wants is not what he has. He doesn't have it. He just wants it. So that we can understand how that is shalei be'eref.
But how is it Mokol Lechachmo?
That's the Makam is that's the source. If we don't want, you'll never do any chachma. In order for you to apply yourself, you have to want to do it. So the Makam is the Makam of everything.
That's true, but it's the derive. It's the core to reach to obtain that. But there's not a Mokol Lechachmo. Mokol Lechachmo, as you have been saying, it's like a Chachma Setimo or something like that. It's higher than.
It's a different level of makkah. It's a different type of makkah. Okay, so that's basically what you said. It's a makkah like yesh ma'ayin, not like yiluvol. So makkah means that's the source. Why does Chachma created? Because the person wants is as interest, he has a lot, and so that creates it. But
that creates the makkah.
What? That's
creates the makkah. No,
makkah is the source. Without the lot, and it wouldn't be there, right? So that's the source. The source.
No, but the drive is not the source.
Okay. Now you're talking about
no, but it's saying Makol Lechachma. All we know Makol Lechachma has been in the Chassidus, the Makol like Koyach HaMaskil that you have. There also Makol Lechachma maybe I'm misunderstanding it, but I'm saying that they're saying the Ratzon is the drive that gets you there, that creates, that triggers, but that's not the Makol Chachma.
That's what Makar means. That is the meaning of Makar. Makar means that that's the source from that. Without that, the Chachma was not going to be there. So that's the source. So the meaning. Okay, now you're getting into a different language issue. So the meaning of Makar itself. What does Makar mean? So Makar can mean. Makar can mean the like Chachmas Timot, like let's say like Rabbi Techter said, Chachma being a Makar means that this is it's like the beginning of something. That's one way. That's Ilovol, but the Makar in Yesh Ma'ayin means that is the source. The Eibishter created the world, but the Eibishter is the Makar of the world. So Makar doesn't mean we are in Him before we are here. We don't exist before. He wants to create us. He creates us. So that's Makar in the world of Yesh Ma'ayin. That's the meaning of Makar. So he says in the next line, Taka. So look at this. He says, it's not this Makar to Chochmah, it's Makar to everything. The It's just a source, not you. I mean, I understand where you're coming from because we learned usually we say Makar means this is the source of this particular thing. Let's say, the shemesh is the Makar of the oil, right? So the oil reflects the shemesh. So in that world, Makar means that sort of the beginning. The beginning, where does it start in the shemesh? So, where does Chachma start? Where does Bina start in Chachma? Where does Chachma start? Chachma the Makar. But when you say the Ratzon is the Makar, it's a different. That's the word Makar changes its meaning. The word Makar usually means not. I don't know, even though it's more usual, and even not that, but it's more usual. But here, you use the word when you say that Koyach HaMaskil is the Makar of Chachma. Makar means it's the beginning. It's the big. But when you say the Ratzon Makar Chachma, it's not just the beginning. It's the cause. It's the cause of everything. Like you call it trigger. They call it trigger. That's made of terminology. That exact. So in a way, what you just did was crystallize the idea that he's trying to bring out here. The word Makar can mean so that's the meaning of Makar. Makar means it's a source for everything, but it's not. It's a trigger for we'll call it trigger, cause. We can give them names. The idea is that it's the beginning. It's not the beginning of its being. The beginning starts next. The beginning starts in the nivra. It didn't exist before. And it says the Gaber Yosef Hamatza Shovat Tzilus Vasiyok Mechachma Elo B'Darim Makal Shovat. So the Gaber Yosef Hamatza, everything is equal. That's like the Kesser Shebekesser. So everything is equal. So he can create anything, but they don't start with him. It's not that they started within him, and he himself, like I said earlier, Ein Shab Beir Nas and Nivra.
But the Ratzon is higher than Koyach HaMaskil.
What? Of course, yeah, that's the whole point. That even Ratzon and Koyach HaMaskil. Koyach HaMaskil, that's Chochma Shebekesser. The Yachas of that the Chochma Shebatzilus is like a Makar. It's Ilovol. It doesn't use the language Ilovol, but I think that's the same idea. Mashenk and Kesser Shebekesser, that's the Ratzon that there the Yachas of that to the spheres of Atzilus is Yesh Me'ayin. Shaloi Be'erech. Now he brings in another line. It should fit. Interesting. It should fit the mashal of Shemes. We started saying. Remember we talked about the mashal of Yesh Ma'ayin. So he had two to show him. One is from the Shem, the name, and then from a handle. So he says the concept of name we find in when we talk about Atzilus. I'm sure Shemes. Shem Ab, So the fact that in Kabbalah we use the concept of Shemus names, like it says Shem Abba Chochma, Shem Sag Bebina. So the fact that we use the concept of names, that shows us how it's similar to the name of, to the Shem HaHodam, which is Amshocha Chitzenis. So the yachas of Keser, of Keser Shebekesser, of Rotzen, it's Hamatzel, to Atzilus is similar to a name. In other words, Atzilus is like a name. Like we said earlier, a name is something external. What is the Lashon before? When we get to the name, it's something extremely, it's a leap, something way further removed from the essence of the matzah. All right. Okay, continue tomorrow.
Yeah.
Uh,
Thank you.